All right, everyone. I'm going to wait a minute or two as more people join. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. You are at the right place if you were trying to get to the Hack Feedback Session 3 demo feedback. I'm about to post in the chat here in Zoom the ad hoc sign-up sheet. So if you want to get some feedback, just go into that, put the name of your project. And you might hear this message repeated because people are joining as we go. Thank you all. All right, we have more people joining. This is our Hack Feedback Session. You're here joined by several people who are going to offer some feedback. We have Marius Vanderwigen, who's he's volunteered to be one of our tech mentors. You may have seen him in the chats. We have Luke Bateman on the ETH Global team. And we have Nicholas Santoni. Everyone say hello. Hey.
Hello. Hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
We're going to keep this pretty informal. My job is to sort of keep things on time roughly, but we do want you guys to get some good feedback. You have the option of, sharing screen and trying to walk through your demo if it's ready, or if it's partially ready, or if you just want to talk about your ideas and your direction, whatever seems appropriate, whatever you want feedback on. We're looking pretty good on just a few teams at the moment, so sometimes teams join later. So we'll just get right into it. We have Flaunt. Is Project Flaunt here?
This is me. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see that?
Looks good.
I'll just crank down my resolution a bit. Cool, yeah, so yeah, this has just been a solo hack, really just for me personally to go a bit deeper on L2s, and it's definitely helped in that. The premise of it, and by the way, should I just jump in? There's no, yeah. All good, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, let me just move a couple of things around here so I can see things, the Zoom windows. Yeah, so the premise is, and again, still wrapping things up with it, but allow you to kind of remix existing NFTs that you have, and flaunt them more. And that might be like downstream, monetization of them, if it's an NFT you already own, or licensing or whatever. Right now, basically anyone can remix an NFT. It's not checking that you actually are the owner of it, but that wouldn't be too hard to add. And the emphasis is on like memifying the NFTs as well. So there's a little bit of a workflow baked in, and I can show you guys. So again, hopefully you can see this, but you load an existing NFT. So there's like 5 samples there. You can also, this contract address here is Foundation's contract address. So it's kind of neat. So you can just kind of randomly select one, and it will import that, and you'll see that, what that means in a moment. Or you can just select an existing, sample NFT asset. Let's just try loading. The only caveat, I've got to check that, yeah. So if the actual underlying NFT is a video, like an MP4, then it doesn't work because it can't embed that in the canvas. So there we go, just random one. And then what you can do is just go ahead and memify it. So let me just start with control. This is kind of secondary. This isn't scaling stuff yet, but that's just it's kind of fun, and it's actually become kind of addictive for me to play around with it. Add a bit of Doge. You can also add text. So there we go. We've pretty quickly, rapidly memified that, and we can go ahead and save it. So quick demo. And then this saves it to IPFS. And what it actually does is saves the image. This actually took a little bit of hacking because it saves it as an SVG with the image actually embedded, just because I'm using a library called IPFS Mini. I couldn't get it to save the image just natively, but it still works. So it's kind of cool little hack in the true hack of the sense. But and you can also see the metadata as well with the IPFS CID pointing to the original image, the image we just saw. Added just for kind of fun, the ability to preserve it with Filecoin. In the past, outside of the hack, I do a lot of work with various things, and it worked on some Filecoin flavored ganache. So there's if you've got that running, you can actually simulate a preservation, like the creation of a deal and stuff. But I won't show that just now. Or you can just kind of pin it and preserve it with pinning service such as Pinata. Either way, all good. So we've generated the asset, and now getting to, I guess, the scaling point. Go ahead and mint. So you can either mint directly to L1. So if you've got like MetaMask installed or a wallet, you can just go ahead and mint it directly to L1. And then the scaling piece, and again, this is, I haven't had, by the way, been dipping in and out of this hack, so I haven't had a ton of time. What you can do, so I've got support for scale right now. Oh, I didn't show, actually, I haven't actually set this bit up. It does work, but I haven't sort of tested it in advance. So you can switch your MetaMask to scale. I won't do this just because the account I've got currently loaded here doesn't have any SKE in it, but you get the idea. That would just mint it to scale. You can also mint it to Arbitrum via Taurus as well. So if you don't have like MetaMask installed and you or don't have a wallet, I'm already logged in here. I didn't show that workflow, but this just allows you to log in with Taurus, and you can see here this is a separate address. This is my first time using Taurus. It's really cool. And then associated balance there, L1 balance, and then the Arbitrum balance or ETH balance, because you need that. And then there's a little bit of, this is just some of their boilerplate code that they provided. And then you can actually go ahead and mint it to Arbitrum. This may just work. Let's just try it out. Cool. So that's done. So that's minted. And then we have a gallery as well. Now, this is still kind of, I think that might be it. But that said, I haven't actually got a distinction right now of what this gallery is. Pretty naive. It's pretty basic. It doesn't actually fully work, but you get the idea. You can see where it's been minted to. Don't know why. Let me switch back to Coben here, because and there's some of this is still a bit kind of work in progress. But if I switch back to Coben and refresh, it has been minted. I mean, you saw the assets, but it has been minted, and you can see just the example ones here. So these are prime minted. The idea, the bit that's kind of still outstanding is then bridging it back. So the minted NFT to the L2, bridging that back to the L1 as well. So it would be a separate, the little bit of additional workflow, which hopefully I get a chance to finish, is again, this link won't actually go to the correct asset because the ID's pointing at one that's already on Coben on the L1, but it will be a separate route where it's like, hey, looking at the asset on Arbitrum, and then just a little bit of workflow to submit that back, to send it back to the L1. And again, some of this, it's not too much, it's not hard per se, it's just I haven't got around to it yet. Cool, yeah, so that's it. And then the idea, final point, I guess, being about flaunting is you could then, and it's actually all live as well, flaunt here, as in just pushing it up as it goes. So you can actually go into the gallery and see essentially the same assets kind of. Yeah, so it's actually been fun. Now I've got it kind of mostly working. It's kind of fun to hack around and memeify things and so on. So cool, yeah, cool. That's where it's at.
That's cool. From my standpoint, like I like this. I really like the simplicity of the interface. I really think NFTs is just that space that a lot of newbies just want, that simplicity to be drawn in. So I really like that. But please open up to feedback.
Sure, can start if you like. Quick one. Well, it's a good one. I mean, definitely interesting. I agree on the simplicity, and NFTs, they have been proved to be an entry point for so many newbies, right? So it's good to keep it simple. So I agree there. One quick thing. Is your idea to build it like you see it more like a standalone product or a future? And you will see this is gonna sound like a broken record, but it's quite important, even if it's like a project or an hackathon, to have a sort of like clarity if it's a product that could be, you know, a standalone, and what's the value proposition, or at least on a V1, right? So that you can have also a feedback on something that it's envisioned to provide a certain service or certain value to the community in a sense. Or you can also think it like a feature that, you know, you mentioned foundation and stuff, so apply to another protocol. So what's your idea on this? Like, what's your direction that you take?
Great question. Yeah, like again, I've embraced it in the spirit of just a pure hack in a sense.
Sure.
But no, I mean, as I've kind of hacked on it, you know, where I see it potentially going is, you know, people are paying a lot for these NFTs, obviously, and being able to sort of monetize them in a kind of derivative type way. So if you own an asset, and then you can, let's say you own like a Beeple or something, and then you would remix a little bit, and or like sign it maybe, because let's say, you know, this is like very valuable, and then you just kind of just let's take a moment to load. That's in black, but yeah, just if I did put my signature there, or like that Snowden piece, which sold for a lot, and then maybe the owner of that could do something with it, and then maybe, you know, mint X, you know, derivations of that, and then sell those. So it's kind of like opening up, again, there's more potential, open up this, you know, to like kind of build upon the art, right? Which is something, you know, build upon these assets.
Look, I get it so much that we led a round of a NFT platform called Async Art, where they
I know that. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
right? So
yeah. No, that's super cool, man. Yeah.
You really open it to, you know, the masters and the layers, and you can really own it, a layer to modify it. So there is definitely a scope out there, and I could see somebody signing. So good job.
Cool. Yeah. No, thanks. Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else?
I think it's just a really interesting commentary on the sort of crowdsourced nature of internet humor, as well as the iterative value of contemporary, like modern art. So I think this is a really cool step in that direction, just to, you know, assess what is happening with NFTs, make something that furthers what is occurring, but also like a very apt commentary on the nature of like, what is it to be new as a piece of art? What qualifies there? So I know that might not have been the original intent, but I think this opens up a lot of interesting questions, you know, about what we were going to consider quality base.
Yeah.
Great hack.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, man. I really appreciate it.
Likewise. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Yeah.
Please stick around and continue working and hang out.
Cool.
Our next project is Investin Pro. Investin.pro. Are we here?
Hi, everyone. This is Zahib from Investin Pro.
All right.
My team hasn't joined yet, so we couldn't be showcasing our project yet, but I can just walk you through the idea. And we have built a long way. So we have chosen to scale up on Arbitrum. We are currently building on Ethereum. So our central idea is a decentralized fund management protocol, something similar to Enzyme Finance, if people are aware. And we've been working on it. And the whole idea works around bringing NFTs to use. So NFTs are mostly right now concentrated upon art, but we thought of using it for a specific use case. So we have built a platform which actually incentivizes NFT owners in terms of investments. So you come to a protocol, you find a bunch of funds listed out there, and just like a traditional finance fund market, where you go and you find fund managers managing a portfolio of funds, and you choose your manager accordingly, and you start investing in it. And in the same way, we list out a bunch of fund managers, and this is open to all. You can come up and create a fund of your own, and it's all tracked live. So blockchain brings up a question of, truthfulness. You can't fake stuff. So you're showing your fund performance live for everyone to see, and people can just come up with a wallet and invest in your fund. So the moment they make an investment, we track the metadata using an NFT. So that's IVNY. So that's the whole idea of our project. We track investments using NFTs, and that's basically putting them to use. And then we start auto compounding your investments whenever a new user comes into the same account. So basically, right now, all fund management protocols, including even pairs on Uniswap, they utilize the ERC20 token standard to track your share of portfolio, unless V3 comes in and that now, like, it's already been live. So now you have even Uniswap tracking your pool ratio, your liquidity position using an NFT. So the same idea, we have been utilizing it and scaling it in a way where people come in and in Ethereum, if you wanted to achieve the many-to-many mapping of a normal data structure, it was a difficult task because a lot of data had to be updated. So NFTs make up a good use here, and that's what we have been doing. We have utilized NFTs to track positions, and then the real problem with having and tracking a portfolio on chain is getting the asset price. So we have Chainlink and other providers which provide us the on-chain price oracles, but they do not track all the assets that are listed on Uniswap. So if a manager tries to interact with a token which is not currently listed on decentralized price oracles, then we had to rely upon our own calculation mechanisms. And that's what we have done. We have created on-chain oracles for our own protocol, and we've been tracking all of that. The problem we faced right now is that exchanges on L2s are not that liquid. I mean, you have Uniswap, SushiSwap, and other exchanges on the base layer that provide us all the opportunity to trade in, comparable to what centralized.
I think we might have lost your audio there. Yeah. For some reason, you've cut out there, right?
Liquidity.
And you're back.
And that's been a challenge for us because first of all, we need our investors to come onto the layer 2 using their own bridges. So if you want to move your assets to Arbitrum, you've got to utilize their own bridge, which takes a lot of time, which right now takes around 2 days of time to move your assets from your base layer of Ethereum to your maybe Arbitrum or Optimism. All of these layer 2s, they require a bit of time because of the consensus mechanism utilized there. So we have been trying to smooth that out. I mean, trying to build a system which actually pushes through that. And once you're onto layer 2, again, you find the lack of liquidity on those exchanges to be a hurdle. So we have been trying to find solutions for that, and hope if we stick around for a while, I'll get my team and we can also demonstrate a live flow of that. So that's it from investing.pro. I guess given some more time, I mean, once we other projects finish up, I could come back to the loop and give a live demonstration of that.
Yeah, well, great. Thanks for that explanation. We lost a little bit of your audio in there, but I don't know if anyone, from what we heard, anyone have any thoughts or feedback?
Can start very quickly. Yeah, I mean, would be curious to look at it. So, but it seems there is quite a little bit cooking, right? Like different challenges. The product seems also, well thought, but to be developed. Are you planning to do something like D-Hedge or like Prism or
Exactly.
like? Okay.
D-Hedge, it's limited to synthetic assets, so it's not
Correct.
open to every asset on Ethereum out there. So we are trying to build something that's generic and which is more closely tied to Enzyme or Melon protocol, if you have heard of it.
Of course. Yeah, we invested on D-Hedge and other stuff on DeFi, so I'm familiar. But D-Hedge, of course, is on top of synthetic. Okay, so that's the idea. And you also sort of like incentivizing those managers to attract investors, and they get like a sort of share
Exactly, they
fee.
get it.
Okay.
Yeah, performance fee for their profits. Everything
Okay.
that's exactly similar to DH. And the only place where we put out our unique selling position is that we track every investment using an NFT. So they don't have to mint ERC20 tokens for every fund independently. We have a centralized, a single contract which manages all investments across all funds. And there's just a single metadata that is required to be captured on every transaction. So we have reduced the investment costs, the gas costs, to around a third of what it actually costs you on DH. And we are opening a gateway to all assets on Ethereum. We're not just limited to synthetics or any other central authority. So we are open to all assets.
Okay, good stuff. I'd love to see it when it comes to fruition.
Sure.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Really appreciate that. Just a quick reminder, there's a sign-up sheet that I posted in the chat. I will repost right now if you just joined and you want some feedback. And also just for a little bit of framing, if you want feedback to be a little specific about judging for this particular hackathon, just remember you have 4 minutes for your video in the video demo, no less than 2 minutes for that, and a 4 minute maximum for your video demo. And then there's 3 minutes of discussion for 7 minute total. That's for your judging session, just so you know. We don't have to address that specifically in this feedback session, but if you want some feedback on how you present or how you go through it, we can do that too. All right. Thanks to Invest in Pro. Maybe we'll see you guys later. Now we'll move on to My Yield. Get more Matic with your Matic. My Yield's here.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right.
I'm here to get you more Matic with your Matic. So when the hackathon started, basically Aave released their liquidity mining incentives. And so I basically built a product around that. And I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Let me know if you see it. And with this hack, I'm aiming to win rewards for Aave, the Graph, and Polygon. So this is deployed on Polygon/Matic. And since we have to ship by Sunday, and it's a solo, I use we interchangeably, but it's a solo project. So since I have to ship by Sunday, I decided to just focus on one vault and try to do the best I can, and then focus on presentation and polish rather than adding more vaults. What this does is it basically allows a simple way to deposit. And do you guys see my screen? You can see that I have some WMatic. So I can just deposit it. And for security reasons, I always ask for allowance. I did submit this for a peer review on DAO.reviews. However, I think $1,000 bounty is not enough. But if any of you guys watching this video would like to do a peer review, you can go on DAO.reviews and just, there's $1,000 bounty on this. So once once you deposit, you get issued shares that are based on the value of your deposit. And I basically launched a version 2 in order. I basically launched the second version that uses the graph to track deposits. It tracks the value that was earned, the value that was deposited, and the shares that are minted. And it also allows you to track your own stats. As for how the strategy works, it's basically based on getting as many liquidity rewards as possible from Aave, which means that we take the TVL, and then based on the TVL, we just deposit and withdraw. We borrow and lend and borrow and lend and borrow and lend as much as we can, so that we're properly leveraged. And I would say the biggest challenge that I had was that there was no documentation. So I basically had to reverse engineer the staking GitHub library as they developed it, and I believe the documentation came out maybe 5 days ago. So I basically shipped then, and yeah. So basically, it's currently earning 21%. Although there's actually a bot called My Yield Bot that is checking if the and it's there's like a security check for it being whitelisted because rebalancing can potentially cause losses. So this account is whitelisted, and it basically is allowed to deposit and borrow. So I could spin up a new vault for USDC in probably half an hour, because I can just change the addresses, and basically I can have a second vault. Although I was focused mostly on polishing this experience and making it as simple as possible. And so I believe that what is missing here is that you're not gonna see your expected gains. And I was thinking about adding some sort of chart so that you will see either a projected APR, projected gains, or you could see your unclaimed rewards, because the contract is continuously compounding. So to just look at the number here may not be enough of feedback, but I'm very open to advice.
Cool. Yeah, anyone?
Okay. Ciao, Alex. Your GitHub name. it's
Gives away
quite
my
straightforward
origin,
to me. Yes, definitely. Look, good stuff. One simple point. Maybe start with the central idea, which, I mean, are you allowing Matic like to borrow and lend directly through Aave? That's what you're trying to do, basically?
Yeah, that's what I did. I can share the smart contract as well, but
Yeah, no,
fundamentally,
yeah, it's like
it's
principal
basically a
idea is that-
leveraged farm. It's a leveraged farm for Matic rewards.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in general, like, good representation, good, also the UI seems pretty straightforward, but, start with the central idea of your project and then expand on all the different things that you could do with it, basically.
Yeah, so would you say it's best to perhaps have a chart show the rewards earned rather than, for example, having a second vault for USDC?
Well, for maybe yes. I think you look, since you have to start with something, start with like one vault and have like all the full suite around that, I would say, but also as a presentation, I would say, right? Instead of like guessing what could be doing or what is actually doing, maybe start with the 1 10-second sentence of this project that's this, and this leverage these connections, these protocols, and that's the goal of the project, in a sense. Like, it's always better to start like this so that the viewers don't have to guess on what might be doing. That's all.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I will state my goals first and then go into more details. I would say there's a lot of tech that I can talk about, but would you say I should just focus on more of the benefits and just keeping it simple?
Yeah, sure. I mean, my perspective, there's different people that might be intrigued, interested on different stuff. Obviously, the tech is cool, but it's more like from a user perspective, right? Like, what allows you to do. Maybe you can talk about also the challenges. Maybe you can talk about what needs to be done. Maybe what it's also nice. I mean, I speak with like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 projects per day. It's nice to see the vision. So it's nice to present like, okay, in a week I can do this, in a month I could do this, but in a year this could become this. So that's also important. Now it's an hackathon. Of course, you just started and there is a very constrained time and tools. But if you have an idea, you should also, show what you have, but also present the long-term vision, mid-term vision, and so on. That's up to you to know where, the platform could do and what the product could do. But it's nice also to see from your own perspective what can be done with this tech. Right?
Definitely. Yeah, I would say that I basically built a vault where the strategies are hard coded in the smart contract, while my goal is to separate the vault code from the strategist code, which is, you know, literally the yearn way. And but my next goal, and I'm actually going to participate on Gitcoin with the Badger grants, and I'm gonna be building a USDC to Bitcoin vault. Basically, the goal is take your dollars and earn more Bitcoin. But I know that with the 3 weeks I had and all of the stuff that I had to learn, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's my next goal. Would you say I should mention that in the presentation to show
Sure,
a roadmap?
If you like it, yes, why not? I would suggest so. Yeah, it's nice to see that you have a vision that you want. Like, it's much more than just what you see, and it could be much bigger. That's always a good sign. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely good to just mention that you have this bigger view of what's going on too. I think that helps.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thanks. All right. Again, if you just joined, there's a sign-up sheet I posted in the chat. Our next project is VidHasher. Gabriel. VidHasher.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So the idea is to make a distributed database where I can perceptually hash a video and see what files have that same idea, the same information. Because sometimes you have a video, but it's encoded in various formats, various resolutions, or sometimes it's cropped. So I want a way to locate them and to help media preservation. So let me see if I can stream here. Is it working?
Yes.
So I made a Python program that can open a video and use an algorithm called phash and split it up to create a list of short identifiers that you can put into a distributed database on Ethereum. Oh God. It is simple. I have a smart contract that holds a database where people can vote if the information provided is correct or not. So here I have the identifiers for roughly each scene of this video that I used. And the idea is that I can then publish it on the smart contract. For example, this will be automated. Unfortunately, I had to make part of the code in Python, part in Go, and I'm still merging the information. So once the people vote, I can then search by the perceptual hash to identify, to list which files contain that scene I'm looking for. Now, the idea is to make a bit of a better interface, including publishing it the file directly to IPFS, but I still haven't managed to integrate it all.
Very interesting.
Really cool. I love it. I think it's a great thing. So you said phash. This is some kind of like robust hash function, right?
Yeah, it's actually a specific one. Let me see if I can find it to show you. It's based.
Yeah, never mind. I can look it up myself. No
Here,
worries, but
can you see? The algorithm I'm using is called phash, and it takes the image, reduces it, removes the color, and use these critical sign transformations to take the most important info. Now, the algorithm was made for images, so I take my whole video, do it frame by frame, and then try to identify scenes by seeing segments which the phash value doesn't change much.
And then you always take the first hash of the scene, or as an identifier for the scene.
No, I take kind of an average.
Ah, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's a great thing. One problem I don't know about the voting part, so I understand what
the voting is
I understand what you're trying to go for, right? Like you have different people proposing different scenes, and you have to vote on them to see if they are really the scene, or if someone just tries to cheat something in there.
Yeah, there was the problem of spam, but that's the best I could manage for a hackathon. In theory,
Yeah.
could you do the video processing in a distributed fashion? I think there is a coin called VideoCoin that does this kind of thing, but it seemed way too much of a hassle for a simple demo.
Yeah, I think we should keep as much data off chain as possible. So, yeah. No, I really like the project. I think you probably have to work a bit on your presentation. I'm not a big presentation guy myself, so I would just present it as you would probably. So maybe the other mentors have some better suggestions for that.
Well, I think maybe, Luke seems also interested, so he can add definitely on the technical side more than myself, that's for sure. Yeah, on the maybe product side and on the presentation, that's okay. Maybe you can also think and discuss with the audience about, the use cases. So who could use it? Where do you see in use? Again, on a platform or a product standalone. So maybe try to fit it in an ecosystem that is already existing, right? Like on products that we all might be familiar with, or I don't know, because I'm not 100% sure yet where and how you would use it and what are the use cases. Maybe you can expand a little bit.
Think like a web archive.
Okay.
Like the Internet Archive, they usually don't archive whole videos because that's way too much info. But in theory, they could do something like this, where they store the hash, the perceptual hash of the video. So if later on someone still has a copy of it, you can still recover part of the information.
I see. Okay. So it's more like a retrieving sort of function in a sense on an archive, correct?
Yes, more like media preservation.
Okay.
I think maybe you could start like by telling a story of like, have you ever
the use case?
Yeah, have you ever had a video out of some movie and you didn't know which movie it was, or something like this? Or have you ever had like some corrupted snippet from like a YouTube video, and you wanted to find this YouTube video and you didn't know how to search for it? Now you can do this by just using my thing and publishing. Maybe also like publishing a request online, and other people can try to share their files to find it for you and set up some bounty or something like this. I think you could like think a bit about the story, and because people really like to connect with the stories, and then it's probably easier for like the average average judge to connect to the project and think about it.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
great
yeah.
feedback. Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
Okay, thanks.
and just along those lines, if there, you know, in your hacker dashboard, there's a hack submission and judging guide, but at the bottom there's a bunch of demo videos that have worked well in the past to just look at, you know, unrelated, but
Okay.
you know, sort of presenting the use case or the what problem does this solve right at the start. And because it's video, like throw in some juicy video or interesting video, you know, like capture the video part, which is super cool. Everybody gets that. And then you got the technical walkthrough, like definitely do that. And then it starts to gel, I think, as a 4-minute demo.
Okay.
Cool. Cool work, man. Thanks for presenting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up is Project Ticket Share, an affiliate marketing system with enhanced financial incentives. Ticket Share. Uh-oh, Ticket Share is not here.
I see there is a gap of like 6 projects.
Yeah, I think they were putting it.
He hopes like, okay, let's gain some time, and then he didn't know that we're actually jumping on him right now.
Yeah, I'll see if NFT puzzle thing is here. NFT puzzle.
Yep. Hi, we're here. Yeah, we're here.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
So
Hello.
we've okay, awesome. So we've attended the last 2 feedback sessions as well. So I think Andrew, you've probably seen our thing, but for people who haven't yet, we'd love to gain some feedback right now. So I'm just gonna do a quick demo here. Right. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So what we're building here is we're basically trying to gamify NFTs. We're building a puzzle out of it. So how it works is we have things called as loot boxes, right? So people purchase loot boxes, which give them a few pieces. Now, what those pieces are, we have a couple of puzzles on the platform. I just have tabs open so that we don't have to wait for requests to go through. But basically, we have a few ongoing puzzles. Right. Now, these puzzles are generated, and at any point of time, there will be, let's say, 4 ongoing puzzles. Now, when somebody purchases a loot box, he gets pieces for, random pieces for any of the ongoing puzzles. So let's say there's this puzzle 3, right? So this puzzle, these are my pieces, right? So these are random pieces that I got from loot boxes. Now, let's say this is a 5x5 puzzle here. So now I need 25 pieces in order to complete this puzzle. And once I get enough pieces, I can, verify the puzzle. And this is basically a race to be the first one to finish a puzzle. And once somebody is able to finish a puzzle, he can claim it, and it will basically be an NFT that will get minted and transferred to his address. So just to give you a quick demo, our loot boxes, so people can buy loot boxes, they can do a batch purchase or buy single loot boxes. So one loot box gives a user 10 random pieces of the ongoing puzzles. So let's just do a quick buy here. This will take a second. So like we have to wait for Chainlink VRFs to return a value. So that takes like a couple of seconds. And we have graph. So that also, okay, that was quick. Awesome. So we purchased the loot box. Now it'll take a couple of seconds to reflect here. But in the meanwhile, we already have a couple of loot boxes. So let's just do a quick, unbox. And give this a second. Awesome. So these are the random pieces that we got, and these random pieces were generated through Chainlink. So we can see, every piece has a unique token ID as well, right? So these can be repeated pieces as well, because we have to keep it as random as possible. Now let's just say we have let's just assume we have enough pieces here. We just recently deployed a new contract, so we don't have enough pieces for any puzzle right now. But what basically happens is, once somebody is able to get all the pieces, he needs to arrange those in this grid here, right? Just a basic drag and drop, and hit the verify puzzle button. And after that, he can see that in his winnings tab, right? Once it goes through, right? So I don't have any claimed NFT, any unclaimed or claimed puzzles right now, but it'll basically show up here. And once it gets claimed, we also have integrated OpenSea. So once it gets claimed, we'll show an option to, for the user can see it on OpenSea as well, right?
Manish?
And yeah.
Okay, I can show the OpenSea part. I guess I have the example for that.
Awesome. You want to take it over?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. Just to meanwhile parallelly, so these are the my pieces page, which will list all the pieces, active pieces actually. And so expired pieces will basically show pieces that are no longer useful, right? For the puzzles that are either already completed, or basically the puzzles that are already completed. And we have marketplace, which will allow users to trade, like they do a 1-to-1 NFT swap. So let's say I have pieces A and B, and I want a piece Z. So I can put up a listing saying, okay, I have pieces A and B, and I'm willing to trade them in order to get that piece X. And somebody shows up, he's like, okay, bro, I got X and Y, and I want this A. So we have a marketplace set up for that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the demo. I'll hand it over to Sneh to show you the OpenSea integration.
Thanks. Danish.
Yeah, you wanna show the OpenSea integration, Sneh?
Oh yeah, sure. It's just Zoom is giving me some issues. Sorry.
All right. No worries. I think we do have it in designs if you want to show.
I think I cannot share my screen. I have to give some.
No worries. Can you send me the OpenSea link, or could you send it on Zoom for people to view? I think
Sure.
that will be helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool project. Well, like my first feedback is, I really hate the term loot box. I would change it, definitely change it to something else. Call it, I don't know, puzzle box, or like, I don't know, puzzle pieces or whatever. But I think loot box is a really, really bad name. Other than that, I think the concept is pretty cool. One question I have is, how's the randomness generated for the loot boxes or puzzle boxes?
So we use VRFs, Chainlink's VRF. So it basically returns us a random number, and we slice it for just one number. So we basically use it to index over the pieces. So yeah, like to keep it short, we basically use Chainlink VRFs.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, and it's Polygon supported. So we've integrated Polygon right now, and we've also been able to deploy it on Scale and Arbitrum. But primarily we've integrated with Polygon.
Cool.
So there's 25 pieces per puzzle, and that's a standard. Do you know how many average trades it takes for one user to complete a puzzle, given the pieces that they're given per box?
So right now we have hard coded it to 25, but when we actually finally launch it, there are going to be puzzles of different sizes. So like there would be easy puzzles, and then there are going to be like difficult puzzles, which are going to be of more value because they would be harder to solve, like 10 by 10, 4 by 4, and multiple like that. Just to give you an average, like yesterday I was trying to solve a 5x5 with 4 ongoing 5x5s, and it took me literally like 4 or 5 batch purchases to actually get all the pieces, but I still couldn't do it. And because there was just one last piece, I was not able to get it. So it's really hard to play.
So that is actually how we plan to, leverage the marketplace, because there people are going to run into this problem where they're going to be super frustrated. They're like, I just need this one piece. So they'll be like, okay, bro, I'm just going to put up a listing on the marketplace for this.
That's cool. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it seems like there's variations on what I would typically think of as puzzle solving that sort of go into this now. You typically get a puzzle where all the pieces are in the puzzle, but now there's sort of a question in this model of like, so you have a puzzle to solve, but you don't even know if you have to acquire the pieces that you think are going to be help you solve the puzzle. So that's interesting.
Yes, in fact, my question and more the direction I wanted to brainstorm with you guys was the economics. So who you think that your users are, and do you want to keep it just for gamer, like on a gamifying approach, or there are some economics behind it? And maybe, I don't know, very hard to think that both could do it, but anyway, so who would be your audience, and is it just the game, or it could be something more?
Got it. So we haven't put too much thought into it yet, but we've been in talks so Karthik the other day connected us to Coin Artist, and we were discussing it with her, and she actually, suggested that we collab with some NFT artists, so that we can bring real value into those puzzle pieces. So we might go that route, but yeah, so like we are passively thinking about that stuff, but for now, we just wanted to, deliver on the hackathon.
Right. And she said like she has some collaborations that she can put us into. So we're excited about that. But I guess for the hackathon launch, we're looking at memes or something funny which people find interesting to own. And yeah, that's going to be the short-term goal.
So like we'd actually appreciate ideas there. Like for the hackathon, what sort of puzzles we can go for. So we're thinking of going with like some artistic modified version of the sponsored logos, and and maybe like some funny memes, maybe like Vitalik's head, or like something entertaining in that aspect. So we'd love ideas there as well.
I'm interested in this because I think that it gives you the opportunity to like not only set up like your revenue streams, but you get to sort of control for the difficulty, like the number of times somebody's going to have to trade based on the pieces that they're given. You can sort of control that in a lot of ways. I would say over the course, if you decide to spin this up after the hackathon, do a lot of averaging of like what each player has to go through, like the number of transactions they have to deal with in order to finish the puzzle, the number of boxes they have to purchase themselves in order to gain the pieces, who they need to trade with. And then like sort of ratchet up the difficulty for those expert level puzzles, because I think you have the chance to really get people to go crazy about that. But it's going to be an important balance between having that one last piece that's an incentive and then having that one last piece that gets people to walk away. So there's a little bit of like game design included here that's going to be necessary to make sure that the difficulty level keeps people interested and doesn't turn them away.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
definitely helpful. Thank you so much for that.
Super fun though. I really like where you're headed.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this when you showed
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Well, cool.
So if I'm not taking too much time, I just had like one last question.
Yeah, please.
Any insights, any ideas as to how we can make this more like appealing to the users? So we had a call with somebody from Polygon, and they suggested us to look into ideas or figure things out to make it more attractive or more entertaining for the user, because maybe people aren't interested in playing the game. So they're like, maybe, think of something to attract or, bring in more users.
Let me ask a question just out of curiosity. Are you guys puzzle enthusiasts yourselves before this
Not
project?
really.
Yeah.
We're just
Maybe
no,
you
not really.
Maybe you
from-
just want to look into that. Like, what are puzzle enthusiasts currently like? Where do they gather? What interests them? And now you're sort of getting into that psychology a little bit. Some people just love doing puzzles. It's been huge during the pandemic here in the US. Like tons of people are doing puzzles. It's not a direct line, but to understand that psychology a little bit could probably be useful, I think.
To be honest, I was not a puzzle person, but yesterday when I was trying to solve it, it was really fun because I don't know, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe
we're also trying to, sorry, go on.
no, please go ahead, Danish.
Yeah, I was just adding that we're just trying to address the average Joe user as well, like somebody who would want to invest into an NFT or maybe like for trading purposes. Like we also want to address that audience and not just puzzle enthusiasts. So we want to keep it as generic and as wide as possible.
Yeah, it's a good it's a good choice. Otherwise, you really channel and funnel too much the audience. Maybe you could, I don't know, I'm thinking about like recurring, as you mentioned, like collaborations with artists so that you know that on a zillion of basis, whatever, there is something valuable. Like there is something that you can actually, there is a market and you can build a little bit of buzz around it and say once a week, once a month, you have one piece around the boxes that if you really get it and you have maybe, you know, an history so that people can say, okay, something very valuable. It was one of the puzzle that this person actually solved and he suddenly has a bunch of money, right? Because that's the value behind it and you're able to sell it. So it doesn't have to be always the case, but maybe yes, some recurring collaborations or you know, like that piece that it's a little bit more recognizable from a larger audience that keeps the engagement, right? It's never dormant in a sense.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. In the interest of time, I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good luck with that. Okay, so Ticket Share as our last project. Ticket Share.
Thank you, guys. Last but not least. Let me share my screen. Can you guys all see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. So let me start off by asking you a question. What do Facebook, LinkedIn, eBay, Axie all have in common? They have a strong network effect. So each additional user to the platform would bring marginal value to the platform. But we all know that it's extremely difficult to build the initial user base. And what we are trying to do here is trying to help platforms and any companies to build up their initial user base by deploying a network effect driven affiliate marketing program. So what do I mean by network effect driven program? So let me just give you an overview of the current system that companies use to attract, promote products. So in the current system, so let's say they would give incentive to users like you and me. If we're already using the products or services, let's say, hey, here's your, we will give you $10 if you refer someone to our platform or use our product. So it's kind of like one-time deal, and that's it. Once you get that $10 by sending a referral link to your friend, that's it. It's done. The incentive system is not strong enough in the current system. So what we are proposing is a strong, adequate economic incentive powered by blockchain. So you would not, let's say, Andrew, you send a referral link to Nicola, right? And then Nicola buys the product. and you would get, let's say you get 1 token for inviting Andrew, for inviting Nicola to use the servers. And then Nicola say, hey, that's a great product, let me invite my other friends. And then Nicola invite, let's say, Gabrielle, and then Gabrielle also buy. In this case, not only Nicola gets a 1 token for the reward, and Andrew, you will also get 0.5 token for reward, because you bring in Nicola and Nicola bring in Gabrielle. So it keeps going, it keeps extending out to higher levels as your referrals bring other friends, and the other friends bring more referrals. And you can see we have the table here depending on how far you are away from your referral. If you're one level away from your referral, you get 0.5 token. 2 levels away, you get half of the 0.25, half the 0.5 token, you get 0.25 tokens, and so on. So that's the incentive system we are trying to build in our affiliate marketing program. And it has a very strong economic incentive. So for our use case, we are building a ticketing platform employing what we just described. So in the traditional ticketing, on a traditional ticketing platform, event hosts would create events and then they hire promoters to promote the events. And the promoter would get commission back if they their audience buy the tickets and attend the events. So using our new affiliate program, the event host can provide adequate economic incentive to turn any ticket buyers into promoters. So basically, they would just, if you buy a ticket going to the event that you like, you would, because of the infinite reward that you would get, you would like to invite your friends and hoping your friends will invite other friends. So you have incentive. You want to get as many people possible to attend the meeting, attend the event. And here's the high level overview of the architecture, what we're trying to do on the ticketing platform. So we're going to use ERC-1155 token contract for the platform to distribute the promotion reward. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be ERC-20 tokens. To distribute the reward, and then ERC-1155 to represent the ticket itself for each event, each ticket. And then we also have the event registration contract that manage all the events that is active, that are not active. Last but not least, we have the promoter reward checking contract that basically would check the reward distribution we just described. And so we will use Scale as the L2 scaling solution, plus a user-friendly interface made possible by Taurus. So Yusong, would you like to do the demo?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Now we'll I cannot share my screen. Oh, okay. So here's the page. When the user goes to the ticket share page, they will need to connect to a wallet, and I'll be connecting to the MetaMask. And then let's say if you are an event host that wants to create a event, you can register event and enter the name, and then select the date of the event that starts, and then the time. And then the location, and then the price of the ticket, and how much, and then the number of tickets that are available for this event, and then you can register. Is it working?
Maybe the price is negative.
Oh, thanks. I'll share a validation for that one. And confirm. And here's the event. And then you can create referral links, and this will generate a referral link. so you can share with your friends, and then you can earn some tokens. And then you can click on this to copy the link, and then I will switch to another wallet address, and then paste, and then connect the wallet again. And now this will be the friends, and then when they purchase a ticket, the referrer will get the tokens. So if I switch it back, and then refresh, and this person earns 10 tokens for now. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're still building out the back end to keep track of the degree of for distributing the token based on how far you are away from the referrals. Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed in a sense. Very neat, good presentation, I would say. Clear ideas, clear use cases. I'm a huge fan of network effects. I think it's, I mean, with crypto economics, probably the strongest success factor of blockchain now, but especially in the future when it will enable really like people from all over the world to be part of the ecosystems that would have never thought about it. So the ticketing makes sense. I'm also trying to think on you know, different use cases beside obviously the gaming. Like you can't gamify the system, as you can't. I think also civil attacks would be a problem, but so you need to have the economics, right?
Yeah.
You need to pay to have the tickets. Yeah, so the ticket is definitely suitable as an example. Have you thought about any other use case that could be fitting the reward system? And
yes, so we have a discussion with the mentors from Scale, and
Okay.
one of the mentors suggested we can look into the coupon distributing system. Like if you help distribute coupon, or you invite people to buy a product from buy a product or using a services, you will also get reward, and then the person that you introduce to the system introduce another person, and you would the person one would keep getting the reward as the connection keep expanding.
yeah, I'm thinking of like any platform, right? Like
Yeah, any platform.
Also DeFi platforms say,
Mhm.
I don't know if any liquidity provider, you know, you find a way to track that and you introduce to, you know, you can split a part of the rewards that he gets in a sense, like
Yep, exactly.
fork it that way all the way back. Yes, I see a lot of integration or a lot of use cases that could be applicable. And how do you see it? Like you see like a layer on top of, like it needs to be on scale at this point, right? It needs to be, everything needs to be on scale, or would work also back and forth from the base chain and the solution in L2.
Yuson, would you like to take a step at this question?
It's gonna be on scale.
Okay.
Just they have like gasless transaction for the gas fee. There's no gas fee on scale.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nicola, I think like if this idea works out, we can build a layer 2 solution, a protocol for everyone to use. And I have done the market research. There's actually a blockchain company out there called Key2 or 2Key that's already doing similar services out there. They have their protocol. They offer a layer 2 solution.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a if the economics are sort of sorted which I don't have the ability to think through, but it sounds like you're thinking through. There's some good examples out there already. It's interesting to do it in the ticketing space. Is Key2 that other company doing it in the ticketing space, or is it just?
It's for general, for everyone, almost for everyone who's trying to promote their products and services. Let me see if Key2 or 2Key.
Yeah.
Cookie network, I think. I think we saw it actually.
Yeah, 2Key network.
2Key network. Yeah.
Cool. Any suggestion for anyone? We really welcome any ideas and feedback. I really appreciate, Nicola, your ideas, and Andrews too. Thank you.
Well, all I would say outside of a material idea of use is to think a little bit about how you present, you know, if, for the judging session.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like you have a crisp sort of presentation almost there, and you have good stuff to walk through. Remember, it's like a 2 to 4 minute video, so you want to sort of hit it well. And the thing I would say is, like, again, this is not a technical thing, it's just for the presentation, for the demo.
Yep.
Whatever, you know, if it's ticketing, then present the problem and, like, you know, make something, as I don't want to, you know, something about the ticket itself, like you're the average user, like the use case, like going to a concert, show something like that, or just to sort of hook people in a little bit at the start, and then go through the technical and the and sort of the economics as you've thought it through.
Got it.
I think.
Thank you.
Yes, I was thinking through, because, you know, there are all a universe, not even a planet, like a universe of DeFi applications that you could bring on, but it depends if you do like on application specific. So I'm thinking about, like, for example, insurance, right? Like if you could track you know, recurring insurance, and you could see, like, you can have a recurring, like, reward doling out to you because you introduced somebody that got 1 month of insurance, then I got 2 months of insurance, then 3 months of insurance. So you can also think about the like a ticket is like one event, right? So you can, it's multidimensional in my mind. Maybe it's a bit late, so that my mind is messed up, but, like, you can have one dimension, which is one event, multiple people, but you can also have multiple events and also the same people, or you don't have to, you know, it's multidimensional. So let's say a product like an insurance, that it doesn't really matter if I mean, it matters if you get more people, but maybe they want to ensure, like, you know, a limited number of protocols, right? But you could change the dimension and get it like a system that rewards you every time that they reinsure, in a sense, right? So something recurring. So every time the user that you introduced is using the product, you get something, right? So that could be also a sort of dimension. I don't know if it works as well, because it's different from the tickets. Ticket is one event, multiple people. But my point is that you maybe want to think about, you don't want to lose the referral link once you have it, right? So it goes from people to people, and it's like a tree, right? Like you get always from the region, you get whoever goes, you get a little piece of the token. But you can also maybe think to apply to services, and that would be extremely valuable as that context.
I see your point. I think you're touching upon on the rewarding the promoter for the recurring purchases that their referral make. So
yeah. And since liquidity in DeFi, especially in DeFi, is, well, that this is on a scale, so that's also another thing to think about it. But you know, since liquidity is a product, believe it or not, right now in DeFi, it's a really big addressable market for you right now.
Yep.
Or it could be. So I wouldn't discriminate in a sense, like keep your options open.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
But good job so far. Absolutely.
Thanks.
And I see Azzy has an idea. Feel free to unmute, Azzy, or Azink. I see your raised hand.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea with that one would be, well, I have an idea. It goes alongside with that. Basically, it's a open VPN. You can download and install on your server or any server anywhere, like a container. And then from there, with the ticketing system, the coin be delivered to the VPN holder, and it's an open VPN. So that the user would get a link and share his link to the server and get points, or whatever, every time they're using it for a certain amount of time, and that's locked in. So then the user doesn't have to pay anything for a VPN, and the server host is the one that's collecting the coins by putting the host to the server. So the ticketing system is like, say I'm an end user and I connect to the server in Hawaii or wherever, and then at that point I share my link with someone else, and that's trackable and payable. So that's how it spreads.
I think there was something very good
Yeah.
on it for sure. I think we got maybe 35-40% of it is a little, I mean, at least on my hand, it was a little bit.
No, the audio was a little problematic, but we feel everybody feels like there's something there. So
Yeah, something like on storage, right?
Yeah,
storage. Yeah, it was mentioning VPN or storage as well.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Ryan, can you reach out to Azzy Inc. and
Yes, I just did. Azzy, can you share your Discord so I can DM you? I think, yep, he's still here.
He was there a second ago.
Yep. No, he's still here.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for presenting and sharing that. Sounds interesting.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for joining. Thanks, Nicola, and thanks Marius for offering your time and expertise. Submissions are this Sunday. Good luck, everyone. Stay in Discord. If any problems pop up, just jump in and ask questions. I think that's it. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Thank you guys for presenting. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.